think that entrepreneurship is all about the business.
That's not true. Absolutely not true. Once you know yourself, who you are, what do you want, what you already know within yourself, you will definitely be successful. That I guarantee you.
Hello and welcome to our 72nd episode of Personal Development for Entrepreneurs. This is a special episode because we've completed the usual 12 cycles. We are at our 6th year, Dr. Venga, with the Personal Development for Entrepreneur videos. Good evening.
Good evening, Ikram. Good evening. Wow, I'm getting old, man. And so are you, huh?
Yes, yeah. White streaks of white hair on my sides.
Yeah, you see that? Mine
Well-
has gone. I shave it all the time, so it gets white. In the moment it gets white, I can shave it off.
Mhm. But it's when we first started doing the videos, did you think that that we would be at 72 videos,
No.
72 episodes?
No, Ikram, no. But we have come this far. I don't even. My thoughts were at that time whether I'll be still alive up to this point in time.
Right.
See? But that's life, isn't it? We don't know.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's why, Ikram, it is so important that human must understand the physical world or the material world and the spiritual world.
Mm.
They must understand that.
Right.
Because
Right.
you're going to go away, no?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what are you going to take with you?
Nothing, I suppose.
You don't even know whether you'll return or not.
Yeah.
It's all the myth, isn't it? No
Yeah.
one can prove the theory right. You cannot, but we need to understand that. So while we are in this life, at least, no, at least we must do something good.
Mm.
See how nature is doing it to us, no?
That's right. Yeah.
You kill one species of vegetable, that will produce another different type. You kill one species of, not kill mean, you harvest so much of one species of fish or what? Another different type comes out from somewhere else. Right or not?
Yep.
One type of virus you try to control, that will produce another type of virus. That's how the Indians think about this, that you will come back again, no? Reincarnation is because of nature. Because one species die, another species come also. So they think in that form.
Right. Right.
Okay, never mind. Let's get back to what we're trying to do. But it's a great thing, man. We've been doing it for now
6 years.
6 years now. You feel happy doing it?
Yes. Yes, I do.
And do you feel that you have done something good for the community?
Yes. Yes. That's why I'm a part of this.
All right, Ikram, that's right.
So, speaking of doing good for the community, today's episode is another interesting episode. Financial wellness as personal development. Um, uh, so this is a topic that I thought of, Dr. Venga, because I think it's very difficult to separate money from our lives today. Money seems to be the root cause of many problems. Personal relationships and all. Usually, all this is centered around money.
Absolutely, yeah.
And therefore, if we don't have a good grasp of money management or financial wellness, as we're putting it in this episode, it's sometimes a hindrance, or it disturbs your personal development. putting aside the fact that, sometimes there's always this thought that we're taught, right? Money is greed and all that. But if you look at it from a practical sense, to a certain degree, some amount of money is required to live uh, a happy life. And then maybe after that point, it's, wanting more could be greed, or you can associate it with that. But we cannot run away from the fact that you need to be financially well off to start developing yourself. And I think you are a prime example, or someone who's really in the prime spot to be talking about this, because you came from, if you don't mind me saying, from nothing, as in,
Yes.
you know, from
What do you mean? I please say whatever you want to say. From nothing. Yes.
yeah. And for viewers who are just watching this episode, or who've not listened to some of our earlier episodes, just to retrace back some of the things that perhaps we've spoken before, is that you lost your mom
Yeah.
at birth. You were displaced from your father at 3 years old. You were adopted into a family, a poor family,
Yeah.
and you had no education up to the age of 15 or 16. Yet,
Yes.
with all those setbacks, you've built. You're one of the youngest managing directors of a huge pharmaceutical company. You established a business, generating, I can't remember, 1 or 2 billion ringgit in sales. So, I mean, it's not an ordinary feat that most people achieve. You've done extraordinary things, given the fact that were you didn't have the same, playground that, or starting ground that most of us have. Most of our viewers are probably starting from a point where we are better off than where you were at you know at your young age. Yet you've superseded most of us already, and therefore, talking to you over the last 6 years, I personally feel that your personal circumstances is no excuse. Just looking at what you've done, and perhaps today you can shed some light into, not how you became a multimillionaire, but basic stuff like how do you achieve a certain degree of financial wellness.
I think the key to that is uh, that uh, life had a purpose for me, which I don't even know what it was all about. But the fact of the matter is, if I didn't go through all that experience, just you just now mentioned my mother, my family, whatever that is, and then ending up with a rickshaw puller, he bringing me up, and if I didn't go through that, and suddenly realizing that I do not know how to read and write, uh, you see, for me, Ikram, at a very young age, I begin to understand uh, the uh, the first simple thing, and that is you are responsible for yourself. Although I did not know the word responsible, but that you could say the key. In other words, I took charge of myself. The fact that I had no food to eat for several days and just drinking water and literally getting into a coffee shop, you know, at the more or less in a few days' time, the war in Singapore was over. The Second World War. In a few days, it was over already. Okay, and then everything was settling down and all that. To go into a shop and uh, ask him, can you give me some crumbs? That's it. All that taught me to understand there is nothing free in this world. You cannot get anything without working for it, without doing something for it.
Right.
It's like this, if I say, you please understand, Ikram, that everything in life you have to literally fight for it, no?
Mm-hmm.
But not in the literal sense, like what the Americans are doing now. Okay, but literally you have to discipline. The word discipline, I don't even know about it. But all that came automatic. Getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, getting there, making sure things are done, and trying to think how to improve. And let me say one quick thing, lah, Ikram. Talk about money, lah. Na? I didn't understand what money was. I really don't. I didn't. But so when the shopkeeper started to pay me every day 1 cent or 2 cent or whatever the cent was at that point in time, no? Before the Japanese money came converted to, I didn't realize what it's all about. So it was always uh, spending it the very night, go out
Mm-hmm.
and buy some ice cream or something else, which I see other people having, something like that, okay? And, and, and just spending it away. And then one day, the man who brought me up was just a simple rickshaw puller. No? He sat me down. Now, he has many children, no? None of them paid attention to him because they're already very old already. I was a younger little fellow. He called me aside, sat me down, and he said, I want to tell you a story. Remember that at that point in time, he spoke in Hokkien and I understood in Hokkien. Already I could speak Hokkien. No issue at all, okay? All right? Now, he took a piece of paper, one of those very old Chinese newspaper, to be exact. No? It's a big, in those days, they don't make the small paper, they the big paper, right? Remember?
Mm-hmm.
They
Yep.
print the paper. So he took that paper and he said to me, look here. And he said, now, imagine this is, and then he used the word, no? Not in our sense, money as such, no? Say, imagine this is what you earn for a day. Okay? And then he tore it pieces. He tore one small piece, this for that, and that. And then after that, he told me, is there anything left? I said, no, nothing left. So he took all the thing that he tore up, burned it. Okay? And then he took another piece of paper, same size, and then he cut a quarter, just tore a quarter of it, folded it, and kept in his pocket. And then he went on. This is for bread, this for ice cream, this for this, that, and nothing left. I said, anything left? After that, he took all that, burned it, and then he asked me, anything left? Yes. I said, in your pocket, go one more piece. Ah, very good, he said. This is what money is important. You must understand, he said, the more you keep these little pieces every day, eventually it will become more and more and more. To illustrate that, he tore several of those pieces and put it in his pocket. So his pocket began to bulge also. No? That's the first time I begin to understand, so this money the man give me, I can't break it. And then maybe one day I should not spend it, another day I can spend it. Now, what happened at that moment, which I can now explain to you in a very simple way, no? See, my whole body, my entire body
Yep.
has a heart, has a liver, everything there, right? It's a
Mm-hmm.
physical part of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
the mind, everything else there, right?
Yep.
But what is it that makes this life? We don't know how to describe it. We call it spirit, we call it soul. I don't know what. No? Nobody knows how to describe it, right? As it today's world, they are trying to the energy inside you. So let's for simplicity call the spirit inside you, lah. Okay, you know that means the spirit inside me at that young age understood that this money that people are giving you after spending the whole day is part of your belonging. Nowadays, Ikram, have you ever gone to a, say an Indian wedding?
Yes, I have.
You have, all the women they wear a lot of gold,
Gold, yeah.
diamond, uh, they show off, right?
Yes.
Their wealth, they show off, right?
Correct.
Correct or not, Ikram?
Yep.
Have you
Absolutely.
gone to Malay wedding? I'm sure you have.
Yes.
Also, that happens, right?
Yes, it
What
does.
about a Chinese wedding?
Uh, yeah, I've noticed some of, yeah, it does. Everyone displays.
Well, in Twinkle Little Diamond, which is worth about 200 million or something like that, no?
Yes.
Okay. It's a kind of a show off the wealth they have. But they want to show off their wealth in the physical form. Then
Hmm.
they have to take all that and put in a safe and lock it or put in a bank. They can't leave it in their home. Right or not, Ikram?
Yep.
You understand? But when you spiritually understand, money is important. Okay, right now, Ikram, you take your customers or whatever out, and you take them for lunch, and you give a credit card, right? A plastic, correct or not? The
Correct.
shopkeeper, the shopkeeper takes your credit card, swipes it, and what makes him so sure that he'll get paid?
It's there's trust in the system. The system is,
The bank has
yeah,
told him, isn't it? There is
correct.
a trust. The customer or the seller has the trust on the bank,
That's right. Yeah.
and the bank has the trust on the person who uses the card that he will pay. Okay, and there's a trust. So, in other way, money is trust. The rest is plastic.
Hmm.
Even the $1 note of $10 or $100 note,
Correct.
you understand not?
That's right. Yeah.
It's not a physical thing anymore. It's a mental thing.
Hmm.
But your human spirit must understand the money is part of you. This is not religious, okay? I'm just saying this, okay? So when you begin to think in that way, then you see, like you like to have a house, you like to make sure that you are safe, that rain doesn't come into your house. So you look, aside from looking for material things, you also look for this spiritual thing in terms of money, that this is also important. We do not think that way. Humans don't think that way. This is the structure that we have forgotten. Money is just an idea. Correct or not, Indra? Huh,
Yep.
Ikram?
Yep.
It's just an idea, right?
Yep.
Nothing more. But together with the idea comes the trust. I ask you something.
Hmm.
The Who is biggest consumer in the world? Who are people, right? They consume a lot.
People, yes.
Out
Yep.
of the 8.5 billion human beings, 8.4 and a half billion people are the consumers, right or not?
Yep.
A small portion, a very small, not even 1%, are the people who provide all those consuming that we are consuming is produced by these tiny people. Is also correct?
Yep.
So by right, because the consumers are 8.5 billion people, we should be the one who should be very, very rich, right? Should be,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Should be,
But we are
yes.
not. Who is rich? The
The
people
producers.
who own the bank, the people who control the bank, that few number.
Mm-hmm.
So the more we consume, the more we are poor.
Right.
Yes or not?
Yes.
So consumption is good for the rich. So that's why they come out with new product, do all kinds of research. They do all kinds of bluff, no, total con job. All right, new paint, new color, whatever that is, we consume that. Take yourself as an example, or me as an example. How many shirts we have bought which we never use?
Oh, plenty.
Plenty, right? The bank is rich because why? We put in that idea of money into the bank, and they will know how to lend it out, get more money, and they are becoming richer and richer. We are getting poorer and poorer, right now. You buy
That's
a small house, it's not good enough. We want a bigger house. You spend it. So the concept of money is an idea, but that idea has got trust. The moment you have $1 million in the bank, do you feel confident?
yes.
Now, which part of you makes you confident? Is it your heart, your liver, your lungs, your body? Which one? It's a spirit inside you that makes you confident, right or not?
That's right.
Am I
Yes.
making any sense?
Yes.
So the spirit understands, hey, I got a million. So don't say money and God and is all not true. It's true. Even the spirit understand. Hey, he's got one. You got no. I feel bad. Why? No money. Correct
Yes.
or not?
Correct.
So that's the first important thing. It's energy. Money is energy which we keep in the bank. If you understand this, and which I understood it when I was 5 years old or something like that, that's why I started saving every day without fail. I saved money until I was 80 years old. I saved money. It's not like writing a check, or auto debit. No, physically save the money because my
This
spirit, I want my spirit to know I'm okay. There is fund for emergency. There
right.
is event. So that is what we all lack. We
Absolutely.
lack that because we have never been educated like that. Yet, this the rickshaw man who
He
brought me
taught
up
you that.
could could explain it in such a simple thing that caught my mind. I said, "Oh my God, what have I done?"
Venga, if I might just like add here, I've never saved in my life
Yeah,
until I met you. And you told me this story about how
yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
adoptive father tore the pages and all. But another thing you told me that hit me. So always, right, for me, I've been told it's important to save, it's important to save. But I suppose I've never been in a situation where I had a lot of money to save. And you always think of savings as 6 months of your living expenses saved, right? Um, so I always thought to myself, I don't have so much money to save, the time will come. I'll make more money and then I'll start saving then. And you told me that when you started, you were saving 1 cent a day.
Yes,
And you said you told me this, the amount doesn't matter, but you need to inculcate that habit of doing it.
that's right.
And so then that's when it triggered me, and I thought, okay, now is a good time as ever. Even if it is 10 ringgit a week, I'm going to start saving. And today I've built a small nest egg. And as you say, there's a certain level of confidence. But not only that, I don't know whether when you said energy, it jived with me because that act of doing that suddenly uh more money started coming out. It's almost as if when you start saving, this energy attracts more of such energy, and then opportunities come, and the opportunity to make more money comes. And for me, it's been an upward trajectory as I started to save.
Ikram, you hit the thing on the nail. Actually, the universe is also helping you to save because some of that energy of that you need to save this comes, the message is coming from the universe to continue to tell you be thrifty, save what you can. There is a complete energy of its own. We don't even know that. But here's the key, Ikram. One of the things every single listener that is listening to us must do. First, he or she must understand how she or he is spending every single dollar that he or she is earning, how she's spending it or he is spending it. So you must make a list of all your expenditure in a very careful way, which I started to do when I learned how to read and write.
Mhm.
But I had a simple method before I learned to read and write. The number of coins, okay, the one of the first thing I from my old man, I always took 50% of that and saved away. Then the Japanese currency became a lot more. They gave you in bags. So I started with simple thing like 50% of whatever I earn for the day, I will save. And that habit went up and went up and kept on like that. Every every single individual must know what he is spending. So you realize, let's say today you earn, let's say like you earn 3,000 or 5,000 ringgit, okay? If you keep track of how much you're spending, you will know that you're spending too much, right?
Yes.
So when I say to people, hey, minimum 20% saving, you must take. Am I too much? No,
No.
I'm not too much. You can go up to 40% saving. You could. If you take your EPF, you're already there. Yes or not?
Mhm.
When you buy insurance, you're already there. So actually, the key to understanding, number one, financial well-being is to understand how you are spending your money right now.
Which
When
requires
you
that.
spiritually understand it, then it'll take off.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying or not?
Yes.
That's true, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Uh, Is that is something that we must hit on. And the second thing is like this. You talk about personal development is connected to this because in order for you to do this, you must improve your discipline and you must develop your understanding, which is, do I really need it? I already got one shoe. Why am I buying a second shoe?
Mm.
See or not? And that is personal development. You cannot tell me that your personal development will stop when you're 60 years old. Is that possible?
No,
No. Until the day you die, you're still personally developing yourself.
that's
Yes or
right.
not?
Yes, absolutely.
In like manner, you must also continue to learn how to save money and use the money in a proper way where money earns money, such as a good investment, a safe investment, without wanting 100% return tomorrow morning, but rather over time. At the 4%, just at 4% incremental increase of 4%. Compound it, like you'll get that. Am I making any sense in this?
Yes, yes, you are. Someone said that I can't remember who it was. Someone famous that compounding interest is the eighth wonder of the world.
Yes, correct.
You start you start
Absolutely.
you start young,
Yes.
and even at 4%,
Yeah.
by the time you're 60 or 70, it's a lot of money.
The other thing, Ikrama, also notice, even in your case, no? When you earn the smallest salary when you first started your job,
Mm-hmm.
and look at compare with what you are earning now,
Mm-hmm.
and you will find, hey, I could survive with small amount. Now I'm earning like that. I'm still spending the same. Why? Then you
Yes.
realize that actually, if I cut this down by 50%, I can still have a good life. I ask you, do you really need two spectacles?
No,
Do you need one reading glass, one sunglass, and one something else?
no.
So again, Lana, it's a question of realizing, hey, I am the one spending this money because I have forgotten. So you must have, number one, a kind of a goal that you set, Lana, towards a vision of your life. Towards the end, you need some money to keep for yourself. No one is going to save it for you. See, this because I came as a single human. I knew at the end of the day I have to take care of myself until the day I go to the crematorium. No one will give me money, not my children. I have to have that fund.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to most human, they think their children will support them. No, I made the rule consciously. They will not. I have to fend for myself. And in my case, I must take care of my wife and my sister-in-law who took care of my children when I needed the help. So,
Right.
so that kind of realization must hit you. And then you know how not to spend money, just spend it for the sake of spending it. You understand? That's why even if I give you 1 million, it's not enough. Okay. So three things are important. Lah. Number one, clarity. Very important. You must be clear in your financial goal. Long term, medium term, short term. Year on year, you need to make that goal. Whether you reach it or don't reach it doesn't matter. Make the goal and look at it like a pilot, no? What dashboard?
Mm-hmm.
Number one. Very, very important. Consistent. You must be disciplined to save money every time you get extra, but consistently saving that money. And the third simple thing, lah, do it. Just do. Don't talk. Do. Three things. Lah.
Yeah.
Huh? Clarity, consistency, and do. CCD. Do. And then you find it just comes along. No big seminar, no need. Lah, no? There's enough books to tell you. The key is if you do not know how to manage your income, you can manage nothing. You see, why is it the poor people have so much of relationship problem? Money. The rich has a different type of relationship problem, whereas the poor, simple money. The fight is about money, the quarrel is about money, everything is about money. Because there is never enough. So as I grew up, I learned that lesson. This is the amount of money we have for food. We got to live within that means.
Mm.
And depending on how, for instance, the money is spent in the house, I control it. Meaning, I won't give them 1 month allowance. I only give 1 week allowance. And then I teach my own children how to save from the weekly allowance. Because anything you take to school to eat is paid for. This is pocket money for you. If you save it, I'll double it for you. You don't save it, you get nothing. So all these are cultural things that you can actually do to make people understand. So basically, the human must understand he is connected to money, but the money is a tool. It's not some magical thing, it's a tool.
Right.
And there are different tools for different things, right?
Absolutely.
You must understand that it can be used for investment, it can be used for other things. There are many that the tool can be used in different ways, but it's a tool. So when you chase after money, 1 billion not enough, 1 trillion not enough, 25 trillion not enough, you are chasing after something which you are creating yourself,
Mm.
because you are comparing yourself with your neighbor,
That's
and
right.
you might do the wrong thing. But if you are a conscious human being, I'm talking to young people, we are talking to them, if they realize that they must understand what money is, they will do very well.
Mm.
Okay. Have I said enough or not?
You've said a lot of informative stuff. I think it's very useful. We've actually got 2 more minutes to wrap up this episode. So just to recap, very simply, you've put it: clarity, consistency, and
Yes.
action, or do, CCD. And that prepares you for financial wellness, which in turn supports your personal development. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we wrap up, Venga?
All this is nice talk, listening, and thinking about it. The problem is you got to do something about it.
Mm.
Our failure is inaction, not because we can't earn more. Inaction. And you know what, Ikram? Learn to go to the supermarket, learn to go to a mall, shopping mall, but don't buy anything. Try doing that.
I think you have a formula, right? If it's not in your budget, you've not budgeted for it, you will never purchase it.
Correct. Strangely enough, I told my wife, I need some underwear, brief, She's been bugging me for 6 months. I said, no, until I use what I have, I will not buy any new one because I bought too many. And so she got so fed up with me, she went and looked for it. She's found I got 30 new ones never used before. So what does that mean?
You are
It
right to not.
means that we have bought without knowing we need it.
Mm.
It has happened to me too. In this pandemic, 5 years, I have not bought a single shirt, not even one extra. So am I being prudent?
is it prudent, Venga? Some people might say you're being stingy, just saying out loud.
I have to wear a shirt. I have seen 1.4 billion Indians, even people of extremely rich, richer than what you can think about. Okay, they are the trillionaires. Huh? They own factories at the other, have thousands of people working for them. Okay, and yet they will take something torn here, they'll patch it and wear it. What's wrong with that?
Not nothing.
Is it prudent? Yes. Because the more shirt I use, the more I'm killing the environment. Yes or not?
Mhm. Yeah, that's right. That's true.
I am trying to be fair to the environment, fair to me. The more I cut, the more I'm wasteful.
That makes a lot
With
of sense.
that, that's how you become careful at what you are spending. Careful, not stingy, not prudent, careful.
Hmm.
It's like water, we don't pay attention.
Yeah, so I think the current popular term for that is
Yeah,
mindful
mind.
spending.
Yeah, right. Or raise your consciousness, awareness, and consciousness.
That's right.
So
That's
if you
right.
raise your consciousness and awareness of money, you'll do very well.
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
All right, Vinga, we've got to wrap up.
Okay,
Our time's up. Thank you so much for today's episode. It's insightful. I think so I'll just give you straight up a frank opinion right now. For me personally, I feel this is one of the best episodes of the year. Just I we were coming to the new year 2025, and I think it's information for me. Also, some of the things you've just said has reminded me, for next year, okay, these are things I need to do to make sure I'm financially well. Thank you again, Venga, and have a
thank you
good
very much.
night.
Good night.
To all our viewers out there, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. As we said earlier, is the 72nd episode. We've been doing this for 6 years. We hope you've been enjoying every episode. If there are any questions with regards to today's topic, just put them down on the comment section below, and Venga will be there to answer them personally. And we'll see you on the next episode of Personal Development for Entrepreneurs, which is happening on the 1st of January on the new year itself, which is the first Wednesday of the month, as usual at 8 p.m. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.